Welcome to the dish. Hello to my co-host, Teri Knight.
Wow, it's getting hot.
It is hot. It's 95 today in Minnesota.
And yeah, it feels like it should be California.
I
We should
know
be on the set of The Bold and Beautiful.
we should.
Mm.
I wish I were.
Maybe they'll give us a. Oh, that's just because you want to see Taylor.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. That's an added bonus.
You didn't? Yeah.
No,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
maybe they'll the writers will have us do walk-ons.
That would be good.
That would be funny.
It would. So, Teri,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about introductions.
Ah, yes.
Ah, yes. Would you like me to start?
Yes.
Okay. So, I I grew up in Minnesota, in Hutchinson, Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
and went into law enforcement after high school. Went to Mankato State, which is Minnesota State, Mankato in Minnesota. 4 years there, and then I was in law enforcement for about 20 years in McLeod County, which is where I grew up. Ended up as the worked in patrol investigations, kind of worked my way through the department. Ended up as the chief deputy sheriff, which is the under sheriff, second in command. Left there after 20 years, went to the city of Northfield, Minnesota, where I eventually became the police chief and then the director of public safety. And that's where I met my good friend, Teri Knight, who was
Yay.
working for KYMN radio at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So real quickly, that's my
That's
story.
pretty amazing.
Yeah. So
Yeah. That's
so
cool.
sometimes we talk, you and I talk crime, and you worked in the news industry, and I'll let you talk about that. But so we always kind of end up kind of hashing things over from our professional standpoints as well.
Yes, yes. Well, I did not grow up in Minnesota, parts of it, but I was actually from the Chicago area, then traveled around the world with my parents, and wound up in Burnsville, Minnesota, and went to high school there. But I I
I
was
didn't
a
know you were in
factory worker.
Chicago. I learned something.
Yeah,
I knew
yeah.
you moved around a lot with your dad's
Hmm.
jobs and so on. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I was a factory worker for many years, and then I became a telecommunications technician for AT&T, and T, and I got laid off, and one of the guys says, "You're funny, you should be on the radio." So I went to school, and I think we just hung up. Yep. All right, I'm
All right,
back.
you're back. Back up
Okay.
about 10 seconds.
Okay,
We
so
lost the phone connection audio there.
I worked at AT&T and got laid off, and then went to school for broadcasting and got a job in radio as a traffic reporter for many years, did television for 10 years on the CBS affiliate in Minneapolis, and then I wound up through the power of broadcasting. Um, it doesn't always turn out to be fantastic, so I went on to a small station that I actually started at, which was KYMN Radio in Northfield. And again, I was the news director, and that's how I met Mark. And yeah, so there you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
You have an
Hey,
interesting
everybody.
background as well, Teri.
Yes. Yeah, we both have some interesting stuff.
Yeah, and we could tell real stories, but we probably shouldn't here.
Probably not.
All right. That could be a different podcast that isn't rated PG-13.
Yes.
All right, let's talk the bowl. Did I lose you, Teri?
You know, it's really weird because you're off.
Okay.
It's like there's a big delay going on.
Okay.
Um,
I think with the heat, like you said before we started, there might be some stuff going on here, but
yeah, there might be. I think we can do this.
Okay.
It's just a little awkward, and I don't know if it's going to come across on the actual.
Recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Let's roll with it and see how it goes.
Okay.
All right. So let's start out, Teri, talking about the confrontation between Sheila and Lee Finnegan, which was awesome. The big fight that happened.
Well, so what were they thinking? What was Lee thinking? Get out of the apartment
Right.
before you make a phone call.
Exactly.
That was
dumb.
disappointing to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was dumb.
Mm-hmm.
There have been certain aspects of the storyline that it's like, that's kind of a hard sell that somebody would actually do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Anyway, so there's the fight between those two. That was a hell of a good fight, by the way.
That was. I thought Lee
it.
was going to take her.
So did I. She had her down a couple times.
Yeah, that was good.
Cool. Yeah. So then there was a chase in the car. So, okay, now this is another dumb story, part of the story too. So Lee gets into her Suburban and takes off. How in the hell was that the corrections officer that showed up and she took his car?
Yes.
What was that all? That was just a strange.
That
just showed up out of the blue or what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
And then how does Lee end up in a fiery crash?
Well, I DVR it, so I did rewind it like 3 times.
Yes.
And there was a quick bang, like Sheila rear-ended her, and I think that's why the car exploded or the Suburban exploded.
Oh.
But I had to rewind it 3 times because it was like just really quick bang, like.
Okay. Okay.
Just saying.
All right.
So I think that's what happened. She goes off the end of the pier. The car explodes. The Suburban or Tahoe, whatever it was, explodes. And the car goes, boop, 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 boop. Truck just sinks into the water.
Yeah.
Now, the question is for you, Teri, did Lee get out?
Ooh. Am I sensing a prediction?
Maybe.
Okay.
Actually, I will. I'll just throw that in right now. That I'm going to say she does get out.
Oh, I like it.
Here's what I think, though, about that, Teri, is I don't think we're going to know that right away. I think everybody's going to perceive that she's dead, and then she's going to show up in a few weeks.
Oh, that's sudsy.
Sudsy.
I like it.
And then the look on Sheila's face, Teri, at the end of that scene, when she's just standing on the end of the pier as the truck is sinking into the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Pure evil.
Yes.
She's got the best face for evil. It's just awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. All right, so let's move over to the whole Quinn storyline. So Quinn was making a gesture around. Where am I going with this? So Quinn was talking to Carter. Okay.
Yes.
I had to get my story straight here. So Quinn was talking to Carter, and he basically tells her how much he cares about her. Carter does about Quinn, that he loves her, and that she continues to try to talk Carter out of marrying her, but takes this ring that Carter ends up taking this ring that Quinn's making, right, and says, "I'm going to propose to Paris," and so he does eventually. He goes over there and he does end up proposing to her, and of course she accepts, and so it goes. I thought for a minute there she wasn't going to, but she did.
Well,
what'd you think about all that, by the way?
I thought, sorry, I had a nose itch. I thought that made absolutely no sense, that he could walk away with the ring that Quinn was making that clearly is worth a lot of money, and just picks it up and walks away with it.
Right. Like how much is
Um,
it? Yeah,
really? Oh,
I know. Yeah.
okay. And for him to suddenly just, he's adamant he's going to marry Paris is stupid. He's an adult, for crying out loud. I mean, he's got to be, I'm guessing, well, I put him closer to 40 than to
See, I would too.
30.
I would too.
So it'd be like, what are you, nuts?
Right. Acting like a
Jeez.
teenager.
Yes. And
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Yep.
So I don't like how this storyline is actually going.
Hmm.
Um, Maybe they just are needing it to spice up whatever's going to happen between Carter and Quinn, which I think will.
Hmm.
Um, uh, and I'm not all excited about this
Yeah.
thread.
Yeah. Yeah. And now Grace walks in, who's Paris's mother, catches those two making out, and she hits the roof. Right. So she's like, he's a bad man for you, and not. I got to give her credit. She's got guts.
Yes, she does.
So she confronts the whole deal, and of course Paris is, no, we're going to get married. You have nothing to say about it. You know, that whole da 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 da. You know, that whole line of thing. But so that was interesting, and um, I kind of think, well, I have a prediction coming up, but anyway,
Okay.
the last scenes today, Teri, were, I thought it was awesome how it kind of ended. So there was two different things going on. First was Quinn and Eric were having a heart-to-heart conversation at the Forrester Mansion. Eric tells Quinn he knows, she still cares about Carter, and in the end, he ends up confronting her about how she knows that Carter doesn't love Paris. And I go, I thought to myself, way to go, Eric.
Yeah, except see, on my side, I'm thinking,
But
you
he's a hypocrite.
hypocrite.
Yeah, I knew you'd say. I thought the same thing.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
He is a hypocrite. I agree.
pot called kettle black.
Right.
Yeah.
While he's playing pickleball, meanwhile.
I just love that. I don't know who thought that it would be pickleball, but whoever came up with that writer, awesome.
I know.
Yeah,
That should win one of those huge soap opera awards
it should.
for storyline.
Yes.
All right. So meanwhile, Ridge is confronting Carter. I was shocked by this scene, by the way. So meanwhile, Ridge is confronting Carter. Does he really love Paris? You know, he's questioning all that. And then right at the end, Ridge drops the bomb that he knows or feels that Carter still loves his wife, Eric's wife's Quinn, that he's still in love with her. And I'm like, wow, that was impressive. I like that scene. That came out of the blue too, didn't it, Teri? I was surprised by that.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. I did not expect that, but that's what I like. That was good. That was good. It was it's going to be interesting to see how that will work out, how that's going to play out.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure yet, but the wheels are spinning. So
All right.
yeah, that
All
was
right.
good.
Yeah, it was good. All right, let's move into predictions.
All right.
You want to go?
No, I actually I need to ruminate a little bit more. So go
No,
ahead.
that's fine. I could tell you were thinking on that, and something's brewing in Teri's head. On a prediction.
It's never good.
On a solid prediction here. All right, so I'm going to say Sheila. Well, I already made the one prediction, so that's going to weigh into the whole Sheila storyline. But Sheila is going to return to Finn, and I don't know. Somehow she's going to have to. I'm going to make a prediction that she somehow. Who's she going to have help? Maybe what's Eric's daughter's name that we just talked about her last week?
Bridget.
Bridget. She's going to elicit Bridget to help with Finn. Can't quite figure out how that's going to go, but I don't think they're going to bring in a new character, and she's going to need new medical or more medical help. So I'm going to predict that. It's a little out there, but I'm going to go with it.
That's interesting because Bridget has been more involved, so I like it.
Yeah,
It could have some legs. Yeah,
it could. And then the other thing I'm gonna predict is that I'm gonna still predict, and we've talked about this, but I think it's getting closer now, and because we said they're gonna milk this storyline for a while, and they have. But I'm gonna predict that Eric's gonna get caught messing around at the club. And I think Quinn is going to catch him. I don't know if it's going to be Quinn. Somebody's going to catch him. I got to figure that out. And because a little birdie told me that Quinn and Carter are going to get together yet. And
okay.
I'm going to make that prediction. I'm hearing rumor of that, I should say.
Okay.
So I'm going to predict it.
Your inside information. Okay.
Kind of. It's not solid.
All right.
My sources, Teri, my sources.
Yes, that's it. Well, I think that I think Quinn and Carter are definitely going to get together again, but I think Ridge is going to show up at the club. Ooh. And see about playing pickleball with his dad.
Ooh.
And I think he's going to catch them. That's my prediction. And I just dreamt that one up. But
I like it, Teri, because I think it's not going to be the obvious thing. You know what I mean? I mean, we could say it's going to be Quinn that catches them. I don't think so, but it's going to be somebody like that, like Ridge or somebody that we're not really seeing coming here.
Yes. I think it's I kind of hope that they do that just because it is a little different. It's also kind of like that. I like your idea with Bridget and Sheila. However, I don't know how she could possibly do that. That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah.
My thought is that Sheila is at first going to do whatever she can to take care of Finn. And she's going to try, I still think she's going to try and convince Finn that Lee never existed.
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I said it before, so I'm still kind of sticking with that. Just because I'm curious to see how that would look. I do think that Paris is going to see Carter with Quinn and not necessarily making out or anything like that, but I think she's going to see the vibe.
Or overhear something because the door's open.
Yeah. Exactly. So I don't know, but that's what I've got right now.
I like it, Teri.
All right.
All right, that's all I got. Any closing thoughts?
Keep it sudsy.
All right, keep it sudsy, and we're out.